did it.
Hey,
We started
yo.
at 8 o'clock.
That intro animation gets me every time, guys. That thing's amazing. Shout out to whoever made that. That's awesome.
Big
Love
Dust.
it. Love it.
Dust, man.
Shout out to Dust.
Shout out to Dust.
Giving us a great start.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Tuesday night. My name is Eric B, and I am joined with some of my co-hosts here for another episode of Do You Even Transform, Bro? Do you?
Do you?
We're going to find out here tonight, man. Joining me on our first night as a consistent show every other Tuesday right here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Starting to my right, I'm going to start with Mr. Scott Marblehead Marble. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, yo. How's it
Welcome
going?
to the show.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Doing good. I got Derek B, my B brother in crime. What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
And then I also got Mr. Rusty Mechanic himself, always fiddling with the Transformers and the cars.
I am the Rusty Mechanic.
And together we make up the cast of Do You Even Transform, Bro? So let's start with Rusty, man. How was your week so far? I know it's early in the week, but how are things shaking besides the internet?
Internet's been rough. So again, I apologize to the realm again if I start sounding like a sped up version of Soundwave or something. So Eric, as you know, it did not start out as a very good week. I was supposed to hook up with you yesterday on End of the Realm so we could talk about this new show, Transform Your Tuesdays. Do You Even Transform, Bro? Wanted to help Eric do a promo there last night, and unfortunately got sucked into work last minute. They called me up to like, Rusty, you got to come back in, man. This thing's just broken. You're the only one. I'm like, yeah, I know. And it's one of those things. So I work in IT, right? Most of the time, right? Derek, we can do this stuff remote from our house. It's one of those rare situations where couldn't get at it. I had to physically go into the office. I was in there for, I think 3 hours or something. So any of you out there that, work that type of work, IT operations, anything like that, where, sometimes your boss calls you up and you got to run away from dinner. Shout out to all you people because, man, that role sucks sometimes. But otherwise, I mean, everything's good, man. Like you said, the tinkering in the cars, the biggest thing that I've been doing, especially last weekend, I was doing it again. It's still a little cold where I am in Ontario. Around 10 degrees Fahrenheit for you guys, so not quite warm enough to get the car out in the track, but it's coming next couple weeks, man. I'm gonna get the car out there. I got a Mini Cooper,
Nice,
and I got a Cobalt SS Turbo. I've been doing some tweaks on the Cobalt. Really looking forward to getting it out to the track and trying it out and shaking it down and seeing if it holds together. It's got almost 300,000 kilometers on it, so I'm expecting one day that thing's just going to go, and that's going to be the end of it. But until then, I'm going to run that thing into the ground. That's pretty much it for me. It's been
300,000 what? I'm not sure.
Kilometers.
Kilometers. Yeah, I did the Fahrenheit thing for you there, Scotty. You're going to have to do the rest. I can't math into American.
3,000 miles or something like that. 270 something.
I'll do quick math for you guys. You guys go ahead and move on to.
I work in the car industry, man, so I think it's around that, but I could be wrong. 260, 270 something thousand, somewhere around that.
Hey, go.
But anywho, it starts. I'm gonna move over to your right, aka your left on the screen. Derek, man, how was your week, man?
Hey, it's good to be here with you all tonight. I refuse to do math, so don't ask me either. So, but piggybacking on your IT stuff, I was just thinking about one in particular where I had to go into the office unnecessarily. It was somebody couldn't get the machine, get the desktop to turn on. Kept hitting the button, and it was like I got it. Somebody's trying to remote to this machine, and it, power button don't work. And we can't get it on. So I'm just annoyed at this point, and I'm just like, I gotta go in the office for this. Yep. So, all right, they may have a breaker out on that side of the room or whatever. I was like, is anything else powering on or anything like that? Nobody's trying to answer me. I said, okay, we'll find out when we get there. I get there, wasn't plugged up.
Why would
on the floor? It's on the floor,
Yeah.
right behind the desk.
Yeah.
Literally picked it up, plugged it in,
Yeah.
looked at him for a hard 2 minutes, and left.
Yeah. I've had that. I've had that too. We had a guy go into the server room and he kicked the. So anybody that doesn't know what when you walk into a server room, you actually have like a rack, right? And it's just computer on computer on computer, right? And you'll typically have like 2 power cords that go into the rack, and it's redundant power, right? And somebody had literally kicked both power cords. They walked across the floor, and kicked both power cords out of the rack. And then everybody went into a panic, right? And so I walked in, right? And they called me, and I walked in, and I'm like, exact same thing as you, man. Like, all these people are standing around, right, outside the server room because they don't have access, right? But it's all the, the managers and stuff. They're like, Rusty, you got to help us out, man. Like, what, like, it's an emergency. It's down. It's, we got to be up 24/7. And I walked in, and I literally, and it's a glass pane that they can see into the room. And I held up the 2 cords. I was like, and I screamed through the glass. I was, who the fuck was in here last? Right? Anyway, stupid.
They tripping over cords. It's time to clean up the data center.
Agreed. That was the other thing too. I was like, why are these on the floor? Right? They're supposed to be suspended in the air, so people don't do stuff like that, right? And I'm like, why is this running along the floor? Anyway.
Yep.
But for the rest of the week, man, it's been cool. I've been on this major kick on Xbox with this Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, man. Dude, me and my son play it, and we play with a couple of friends. It's just like, so those are the moments that, get me mad when I got to go in for unnecessary stuff because I got Texas Chainsaw going on here, way more important than what I actually do for a living. But, but do I even transform? I'm transitioning to transform to right now. I'm just loving this moment right now.
Man.
Yeah, loving being here with y'all.
Awesome.
So this is it's a good start of my week. We had ETR. I always start out with ETR, and it's just a steady flow right now. I'm loving it.
Sir.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Scotty, the newest member of a official pod, man. Welcome. And how was your week?
You know what? First of all, we're Tuesday, right? So we're like 2 days in. But I have to say that same with Derek. Started my week off great with the ETR folks last night. Just favorite people, favorite places on my favorite night. And
there you go.
And came home tonight, commiserated with the wife a little bit on our days, and got some loving, and then came down here to join you guys.
Yeah, man.
Some G-rated loving. Okay,
it's all good.
I was going to say, what's the rating on this show? Commiserated, first of all, that's a big word. And
well, you see the brand on that guy?
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally missed that. But commiserated. Let me write that down. Yeah.
That's a big university word, Derek.
We call that a Webster word of the day.
It's a brand new segment. Scott's big words.
Scott's big words of the day.
I just tried to spell it, and I just tried to spell it, and my phone just corrected me. It was like, no, you spell it like this.
You're not even close, Derek. No dummy. You're not even close. It's spelled like this.
Right.
Scotty's got the word of the day, toilet paper. Obviously, right? That's what's happening.
Yeah, man.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I always tell people I can tell you what it means. I just can't tell you how it's spelled.
Fair enough.
Use it in a sentence.
No, I don't want to.
Please don't make me.
Right.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, so far so good for my week, man. It's off to a good start. My daughters have a big chess tournament this weekend, so trying to get as much done at work as possible, get things caught up, try to tie up some loose ends, get my guys set up for success for the week, and then I work a half a day on Thursday, and I'm out of there. But my week is starting off pretty darn good, man. Can't really complain. The Lakers lost, but it's not terrible. Terrible start to the week. It is
not right now,
Yeah, man. So I want to give a big shout out to Dust for allowing us the opportunity on the platform, as well as all the other admin at the Realm of Collectors. It's been a long time coming for us to get together. Dust has kind of been pushing. Derek and Rusty both also have been pushing. I was a little apprehensive only because, timing, right? Like, we all got lives and we got responsibilities and stuff like that. And I was taking over a new position at work, and my kids are getting bigger, and I'm just getting the balance of being able to spend more time with them and this, that, and other. So I didn't really want to add something else on top of what I was already doing. But it made sense, man. So, here we are able to do this every other week. And hopefully we can bring you some more introspective deep dives into the Transformer world, as there's not much of that left on the Realm of Collectors channel anymore. Actually, anywhere. I mean, you can see it from time to time, man. But we hope to bring you a fresh new take on some old news, so to speak.
Right.
But that's it, man. So without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into our first topic. And who has seen the Transformers 1 movie trailer?
Big news.
Who wish they hadn't seen it?
Yeah, that's Derek's. You know what? It wasn't. It seems like it's going to be entertaining. I know. I know it's not what we wanted, right? We're past the point now, and I think we all agree. We're past the point of us ever getting the movie or whatever that we want, right? That speaks back to the G1 series. That's just never going to happen, right? And obviously, they're out there catering to the next generation of Transformers fans, which makes sense, right? Because I don't know about me, but like Derek's pushing 70 now, and is not going to be around much longer, and they just got to look to the future, right? So, I thought it was entertaining, right? It's not what we wanted. It had a Cyberverse feel to me, which, I mean, I watched the Cyberverse cartoon. I thought it was okay. I got some issues with some of the voices, or the way they're portraying the characters. But I think it's going to be entertaining. Like, I think it's going to be a little goofy, but it seems like it's going to have a solid storyline. And to me, if you can tell a good story in any media, then why not give it a chance?
I think that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. What about you, Scotty? What you thinking?
All right. So I made some notes.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
So first, my likes and dislikes. The transformation cogs and them acquiring those, like kind of leveling up. I thought that was a neat, and I liked it. I like the fact that they swapped in RC as one of the main characters. You kind of used to getting some of the Grimlocks and everybody, and RC is a little bit of a flavor, so I didn't mind that. And the alluding to something darker. You had that that drop of the branding sigil, right, for the Decepticons, and there was some alluding to a more darker tone to certain aspects. So I like that. What I didn't like, I don't like a joke every freaking frame. But I understand that I'm not the target audience potentially. But I also didn't like Meg's and Optimus's buddy relationship. So I've seen a few origin stories over the years, right? And my favorite is, of course, IDW and the whole idea of Meg's kind of opening Optimus's eyes, kind of some professional respect there, open eyes to the corruption of the Senate. And then seeing Optimus kind of choose a different path, right? But there was something that hit me when I realized that it's not built for me, and that is, am I past the point in which I am now like the audience for this? Like,
we are not.
What does it feel like to be in that space where it's like, this is no longer meant for me, but I still like it? But then I realized I hated Armada, and so it's like, well, this is just cyclical, so it'll be back.
I think that's fair. Derek, what about you, buddy?
So sorry, guys, before we jump into, so a few people in the chat are noting that it isn't RC, it's Elita 1, and I think they're right. If you check the credits, Scott, it's not RC, it is Elita 1.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she's pink.
Yeah.
Actually, so it's interesting you say that, because both Elita 1 and RC are pink.
Right. Yeah.
With the exception of Transformers Prime version. But anyway, so I spoke on this last week on the Realm Haddon project that comes on every other Friday. And, we take every opportunity we get to plug any of our Realm shows, we're going to do it on every show, by the way, just so y'all know. Anyway, so there was a positive side and a negative side for this for me. One, my thing was this is war is not funny. War is not meant to be comedy. You look at any depiction of any type of media that talks about war or anything like that, it's not really comical or anything like that. I saw a lot of comedy in this. Now, here's the thing about that. As someone who's been watching Transformers for years, all of us for that matter, we're used to a certain tone when it comes to Transformers, no matter what media it's actually on. Even when you had, because the consistent thing is there's a conflict between two parties. Okay. This is a Autobot versus Decepticon story. Now, there is a such thing as that that leading into something else. Before the war, there was, the consumer goods and the military faction, of which they were run and created by the 13 Primes. Everybody knows the background history of this. Me having all this history known about Transformers, watching this trailer kind of put me off. It kind of turned me off because that's not the thing I'm used to watching. Now, mind you, I have to be mindful that we have new fans that are coming into this, that this is some media that happened recently is their generation one, is their G1, if you will, which means that it's them watching that particular media of Transformers for the first time, which relates to what's going on with this trailer. It doesn't relate to me. Now, I understand also that this is just one trailer. Who knows how many trailers are going to come out for this between now and September? So many versions of this movie is going to come out where it's going to show you the comedic side, which is doing it now. It's also going to show you some serious moments, which is going to come out later, more than likely. It's my hope that it's just a nice blend, if you will. Not so much comedy, but gets to a different type of tone for me. And that's my take on it. It's just right now it's not fitting the tone that I'm looking for. But
for your sensibility,
I'm not the one that created this. So, and others may like it. Others that like Transformers animated, that like Transformers Armada, the Unicron trilogy, other stories like that. Watching that trailer now, they'll probably like that stuff. But if you're into not even G1, if you're into Beast Wars, if you're into Transformers Prime, heck, if you're into Beast Machines, the tone of that was, it was on a
little more serious.
Exactly. So you're not feeling that as a result of watching those, because you knew with those you was getting what you wanted. So, but yeah, that's what it is for me.
That's kind of what brought me back to it's kind of cyclical, because you think about how those all are lined up, right? Beast Wars, Beast Machines. Then we got into the Armada stuff that was all kiddie, and then we came into Prime, which was all this mature stuff, and now maybe we're back to kiddie for a while.
Right.
And I think Prime was to piggyback off of the movie, right? So it was to try to continue that while they were, it was $1 billion movie, dang near. And while they had some comedic aspects of that movie, they definitely had a more serious tone, especially in the first one for sure. But I'll go ahead and give my 2 cents real quick. Did I enjoy the trailer? Nah, not really. It's not really for me, and I get why they're doing what they're doing. I need to see a little more, but was I hoping for something serious? Yeah, of course. But do I also realize in order for this franchise to continue and for them to get the next generation, this has to happen this way? Yeah. That's the only way you're going to get the next group to come aboard, to fall in love with Transformers, even if it's something familiar to where they can connect it with their parents, because their parents are obviously the ones that's taking them to see it, right?
Yeah.
So you got to get the parents on board some way. And if you can appeal to the kids, bring the toys out, bring the marketing towards the kids, then I think that's the only way we're going to continue this on. Now, there was aspects of it, of course, they're going to get you in on the comedic aspect, but I like how they started right away with Optimus Prime or Orion Pax and D16, aka Megatron, just showing you that they were friends at some point, and then you're kind of bridging off from there, showing them meeting new people, showing you seeing the things that's going on around them, kind of giving you a little bit of the story, like, oh man, you can't go to the surface. Like, that's all stuff not only kids can understand, but like, you know, the parents will be able to understand as well. Do I have high hopes for it? No, but do I think it'll be entertaining? Yeah, I do think it'll be entertaining. It'll be what it's touted to be. And I don't think this will be the last one if this is successful. So I still want one more serious one, but maybe that's something that they just need to create a series for Paramount Plus, or they give us a movie for on Paramount Plus, similar to the way that Snyder's Justice League came out on HBO Max,
right?
And stuff like that. So
who knows?
The toys look decent. They look very reminiscent of what they are on the TV show. A good thing is they're putting them out on not the TV show, but the movie, but they're putting them out in the studio series as well. So let me go ahead and remove that. And that's also a perk of the kids. Like, in order to get them interested, you got to sell toys, and the toys is what's going to get a lot of kids interested. I miss the days of being able to play with toys outside or on the floor. You know what I mean? Most of these kids nowadays are very tech kids. You know, they're on their laptops, or they're on their phones, or they're on their tablets. And I think this could be the start of something cool if they do it right. So that means not too serious, not too over the top, and over some things over their head that they can't understand. But I do think they'll give us some jokes that help us to understand it as parents, but that are over the head of the kids that may not necessarily need to be in their peer review.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of those, like Scott said, I mean, what I'm afraid of is that we got every joke that we're going to get in the trailer, but obviously the jokes are in there for like the parents that are going to take the kids to the theater, right? At least the parents, I mean, because I laughed at some of them, right? I legitimately laughed at some of the jokes that were in those scenes. So I mean, it's there, you know, for the parents. At least they're not sitting through SpongeBob SquarePants or something. I don't know. True. Something at least they can laugh at. You know what I mean? The one other thing I wanted to throw in too that I'm sick and tired of, though, with all this is I'm tired of the reboots of the story every time. Like, I know this is somewhat based on, you know, like Scott said, right? Like, it's IDW, and there was a book written by a guy named Alex Irvine a few years ago when Hasbro was actually trying to consolidate all these different stories into like, okay, we're gonna like reset here and move forward, and it's called Exodus, and it talks about it's all the things that happened that led up to the split between Optimus and Megatron and the Cybertronian War. And I thought that this was going to be that, right? But I'm just tired of but then you watch the trailer and you realize, oh, actually Orion is the one that's like pushing D16. Don't you want to go to the surface? Don't you want to see? So they've reversed the role of Orion being the one that's driving towards change, as opposed to Megatron being the one that was, you know, trying to convince Orion that, hey, things need to change. That's a minor thing, but I'm just tired of every time that we do something new, they've reset the history and the story again, and we're starting over, and then we get to a point and they start over and they start over, and consistency across the history, right, of Cybertron would be nice. But again, I don't think we're ever going to get that. So,
well, I can tell you, the reason why we will never get it is because fans don't make movies, and that's a big reason why we're not going to get exactly what we want. But Logan made a point. He said we really need an R-rated Transformers movie or show. Like Derek B said, the idea of war and crimes isn't supposed to be funny. I must strongly disagree, and here's why. Look at the Netflix series, right? The trilogy. You had Siege and Kingdom, and then, you know, whatever, War for Cybertron. Those particular series, those were PG-13.
Mhm.
You can do it as PG-13 without going rated R, because if you make a rated R Transformers movie, that's going to be too far over the top, and that'll only appeal to the adults. And honestly, I don't want that in my Transformers. There's still an innocence of Transformers that it has. There's still a appeal. There's a love. There's a spirit that the Transformers has. Like Optimus Prime isn't a killer, which is why people were surprised to see him as a killer in some of the newer things. So I think we got to be very careful with that. But I do understand where you're coming from.
Go ahead. And what? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
But and you know, just to piggyback on that, it you know, if you all remember back in the day when Transformers the movie came out, the 86 version, you remember how parents were in an uproar about Spike cussing in the movie. It was the one cuss word in the whole movie, and it seemed like at the time that was the focus because Hasbro was trying to push the edge a little bit. Now, mind you, when they came out on when the movie finally came out on videotape, VHS videotape. That was
I had it.
That was our era.
7 years old.
They edited that part out. They edited
they had two versions. The first one was
no. Well, hold on. They edited that part out and then came out with the real version later on.
They had.
I didn't see the real version to come out until they came out. It was a clamshell VHS, and that was right around the time when they were coming out with DVDs too. So when they was getting ready, they was introducing DVDs and HD video and HD. No, it was DVD.
No.
It was DVD.
No. That in the 90s, I had it. I mean, in the late 80s, I had the clamshell.
No. That's what I mean. Because the clamshell came out first, and then they came out with the DVD version
later though. Than that, that was way later. I'm just saying, like,
right.
So they had the first version, which was in a sleeve, like Scott showed, like a sleeve. That one was edited. Then the theatrical release was done, and a clamshell was huge. I remember.
Yeah, I still got it.
Yep. And then later down the line, I want to say maybe mid to late 90s, that's when we got that DVD. So it was a long jump in between, but thankfully they did release it because I had the real version. I wore that tape out, bro. Wore that tape out.
Yeah, me too. It was something I was watching at least once a week. You know, rewind that mug and start right over. So, but you know. Even with that, you know, it was like, you know, you're trying to do as time went on, it was more allowed because times change and you know it gets a little rougher. Even it got more violent over time too. And it actually and you know, people knock Beast Wars all the time, but if Beast Wars didn't exist, you wouldn't have a lot of things in your Transformers right now that are allowed in it right now, you know. Some people hate on Beast Wars, but if you really just watch Beast Wars through it and just really pick up on what happened in that story, you'll figure out why we have a lot of what we have right now as far as our Transformers is concerned.
Well, that's a conversation for another day that we can definitely bring up because Beast Wars never, it never gets knocked for its story. It always gets knocked for its animation. And it's animals, you know what I mean?
I've heard it get knocked for both, so I was just like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
People who haven't watched it, man. Like, that story is,
and that's the point, you know,
episodic.
Yep.
Hey, but somebody definitely write that down. That'll be a good topic for another day on that.
Got it
on that. Anybody got anything else on this before we move on?
Derek's taking notes.
One thing.
Well,
this comes out on my birthday.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, let's go to Rusty real quick and then right to you, Derek.
Oh yeah,
all right.
I was just like, Logan, how much darker do you want the Netflix series to be, man? That was dark.
Yeah,
it really was. It really was.
Man. I agree.
Anyway, Derek,
Transformers 1, September 20th. That's my birthday. Let's go see it together. It's coming out on my. It's coming out on the day of my birthday. I can't wait.
That's funny.
Speaking of, we were speaking of the
$20 on it.
For those who may not know, we were speaking of the G1 movie, and the G1 movie is being actually no, the movie.
Yeah,
the G1 first 4 episodes, right?
Yes.
Being re-aired May
Oh, right.
May 15th through the 18th.
The 15th, 18th, and 19th.
16th,
There you go.
17th.
No, the 15th is a Wednesday. And then it comes back out that Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
weird. I don't know why they
Okay.
did it that way, but Wednesday.
Check your local
it's-
theaters. Tickets are on sale now.
17th,
There you go.
18th, 19th. Yeah, that's anyway.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to introduce a new segment to our show called "Does It Still Hold Up?" Let's see what happened just here. Nope, that's not right.
Yeah,
There
we're
it is.
gonna
Does
work
it
on this.
still hold up? Does it still hold up? And this is the point in the show, guys, where we take a action figure transformer from back in the day. It may have come out 10 years ago, may have come out 5 years ago, may have come out 20 years ago, and we just check the validity and see if it still holds up. So, Derek, why don't you go ahead and take this segment away, buddy?
You got it. So normally I would have another camera up and I would just put it up, but we're not going to do that this time. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all remember this? Y'all remember this box?
All right,
Yes,
chat squad.
sir.
All right, chat squad. Don't show the bot. Does the chat squad?
Wait. Yeah, don't show yet.
I didn't.
Yeah, who in
I
the
showed
chat
I'm
squad
showing
knows
the
what he's
box,
holding?
but I'm not showing what the figure is in it. Do you remember the box?
By the way, Brink says happy birthday. Derek.
I'll be honest. I don't.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Anybody?
I'll be
chat
honest. I
squad?
don't know what this is.
Ooh.
You don't know what this is.
I don't know what this is.
All right, so let me get just a quick
I've never seen
background.
this box.
Brink pulled it.
Got it. So
Of
quick
course he did. He
background.
just stole it.
To Derek.
No, I've
Too
been
many
there. I had this
keys.
when it originally came out. Now, to give you a little background on this one, this is the piece that got me into third party collecting. This piece right here. X Transbots Apollyon, their version of Megatron.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Logan is clowning.
Logan.
But he
You're
ain't
not
wrong.
wrong.
But
He
he's
is not wrong, especially on this one, bro. You are right. Wait. You got a box full of crumbs then.
Hey, that's why this is why we're doing this segment.
Yeah,
see
man.
if it still holds up. Okay.
Let's see.
Now,
Let's
get it. Now, real quick, when I got into third party collecting, I saw a video on YouTube. X Transbots did a video promo for their Apollyon, and it was freaking incredible. Man, I was like, I gotta have that, So I was like, man. And then I got this. I was like, I'm done with Chug and all that. I'm done with all that. I just want to get into this, and I want more. And I got more. I got into Fans Toys. I got into DX9. I got into Bad Cube. All of that. I was like, yo, I'm in. I need these. Masterpiece got introduced later on too, and it was just like, okay, but this is Apollyon. Now, I still got all the accessories to it. Apollyon, I put it back in this original plastic. It's got all the original accessories that came with it. Okay.
Jay.
And there it is. Still got the orange plug into the barrel. Now, I'm going to take this out.
I hated that.
Let the haters hate. Come on.
He's not wrong,
okay.
dude.
By the way, is that
pieces and everything?
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead, Rusty.
Is that
What were you saying?
Velcro tabs in the corner there?
Magnets.
Is that Velcro tabs in the corner on the box?
No, those are
magnets.
No, it's Velcro.
It's
Oh, was it Velcro? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought one of them had.
Okay.
I thought one of them had magnets in it.
No, they did magnets in their packaging later, and I can't remember. I can't remember the figure though.
This is back when X Transbots wasn't packaging wasn't Fans Toys knockoff.
Yeah, that's true. But the presentation on it was pretty awesome, man. That was one of the things that was striking for a lot of people.
Yeah,
presentation was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get it out, Derek. Let's see what it is.
Here we go.
Man, just
fun
let
fact,
this.
by the way, if you're shipping if you're shipping magnets, you have to do special packaging if you're shipping magnets to North America. Apparently,
Really?
Yep.
I tell you,
I don't know what the reasoning is
one of the
behind
best
it, but
packaging in third party that I'd ever experienced to this day is still is it with Generation Toy? It had
Yes.
styrofoam, the thick
Mhm.
cardboard, the little flip open panel. Like,
Toy World adopted that later.
Yeah.
nice stuff. There's something about that, right? You open that package, it was like a Hot Toys or a
would
Flames
you
Toys package.
just throw that on the floor, Derek?
That's what I was trying to do, but I was trying not to make a mess. So y'all gotta realize when I do these, this is why my stuff lasts for so long, because I don't just throw things all over the place.
Nah, man, you just gotta lay that down, get it out the box. All right, let's see. Let's get them joints a going.
All right, so that's
it looks all right.
No, you gotta let it see if it falls on its own. Put that arm up. Yeah, okay.
Like this?
The friction. The friction holds. It holds. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the cannon, I give them that. All right.
Now that's what because the cannon is on it, and it's adding that weight.
No excuses. This one came with a shoulder repair, so you
is this post?
I didn't get the shoulder repair though. All right, legs.
All right.
All right.
See how them ratchets hold up, because that thing had some friction on the. Oh, that was friction, and then the knees were ratcheted, right?
The legs and the knees are ratcheted.
Okay.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah, because y'all hear the ratchets are
there
still.
It is.
Yeah. Captain Morgan.
Clicky.
Oh yeah, click.
And does the leg hold up on its own? Yes, it does.
All right. Well, ratchets is just about auto.
It's like, yep, Dust. Yeah. Ball joint shoulders. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
On this one too. Here we go.
There it is.
That
die cast in the feet.
Oh no.
I mean, no, this peg
stuff falling apart.
Yeah, that don't
exposed to air, man, starts to fall apart.
All right, and so I'm looking at the hip assembly, and it's not. Oh,
that's the part. It had a tab. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's okay. I just tapped it back in. The hip skirts still good. Ball joint ratchets.
You guys in the chat are brutal.
Better light. Yeah. Ball joint. Let me try to angle it so y'all can see it. And that's the thing about this though. I've never damn this I just can't get up.
Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing, bro.
We've come so far, y'all.
We have
come so far.
We have.
Now Dust called it though for a time. This was definitely the best looking Megs out.
Mm-hmm.
And this one did not have an ab crunch.
Against MP, was it MP04? What was Megatron?
MP05.
05.
3.
I mean, that was the competition.
Yeah. The back area, there's no fillers in that, so.
Go ahead, Rusty.
This doesn't look bad to me. I've never actually seen this in hand, and I'm just looking at it on Derek's screen. I mean, that still looks like a decent Meg to me. Right? It's not MP36, but I mean, it's not.
He's beefy.
This was at least 5-6 years before MP36, if not more. Like when this thing dropped, people lost their minds.
Yeah, because it was the only thing that really matched up with MP10.
MP10, correct. And it was clean, like he said. Look at the back on that.
Yep.
Like the back cleaned up. Like you know, we didn't know anything about the hollowness of the shoulders when it first dropped. But hey, man, I'll say this thing still holds up. It's just about as crappy as it was when it first came out.
We should hold a vote. I think we should hold it.
All right, Chat Squad, let us know. Does it still hold up? Does it still hold up?
Oh. Don't breathe on it. Don't breathe on it, Derek. Don't breathe on
it. Matt said the back looks like poo-hoo. Well, you should see MP36. I had to buy a cover for that thing.
Yeah.
Dude, Matt,
you know what? I
didn't
get the cover
Batman. You're sheesh.
All right, we got one. We got one vote for yes.
Yeah. Proto was that Proto?
2. It says barely, so that would be 2 yes. Logan's got to, do his own thing. 3
Brink
yes.
says, yeah.
Head on looks good, Matt. You're kind of straddling the line there, man. You got to go yes or no.
This is Matt. This is PG. This is PG, Matt. Let's keep it clean.
All right.
Look,
honestly,
accessories.
Squad is digging Apollyon from a
man.
still holds up standpoint.
Struggling, but yeah.
Okay.
What was the name of that thing?
Dante says no.
Dante,
Dante
bless
no.
you, man. You are going against the grain, and we like you for it.
Hey, yo.
Oh. Somebody else said.
Go on.
Heck no.
Dare. For real? Yo. Hey, yo.
No.
Hey, I'm gonna show y'all the piece that all Rodimus fans hate.
Hey, listen. And to the cornfield you go now.
Actually, every hero needs something to start him on the hero's journey.
Yeah, man. It's the MacGuffin. It's the MacGuffin, man. It's the MacGuffin.
Let's see if they peg. Let's see if this mug real quick. Let's see if it pegs in to the hand.
Most people are saying that holds up. For those who are saying it doesn't hold up, can y'all elaborate a little bit? Let us know why you don't.
Right. Let us know why.
Is it because it doesn't fit in anymore with the MP aesthetic, or do you just think it's a pile of crap? Help us out, chat squad. We're not gonna spend too much more time on it, but help us out.
Real quick. I don't want to trigger anybody, but no, you don't, Megatron.
Too late.
All right, Brink.
Hot planted that. Brink.
All right, Brink. Treading up thin ice, buddy.
What was the? Help me out. What was the helmet for in the cartoon? What was that episode?
This was the episode of Prime Problem, where he made a duplicate of Optimus Prime, and this is the helmet that he used to control it. Yes,
right.
Control the duplicate.
All your Transformers facts on Do You Even Transform, bro?
What? Look at Derek naming the episode.
Hold on, Logan. That's not the question we asked. We just asked, does it still hold up? Is it still suitable? Does the arms and stuff still work? Will it still fit in a collection? Not if it's the best looking MP, because I still think you're wrong, and the one you think is an MP, that's subjective, right? But I think it still holds up, man. I think it still holds up. But we're not gonna murder you guys too much tonight.
I would like to see one with the shoulder upgrades to see if it actually fixed it long term.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
So
the reason for the shoulder upgrades were exactly for that reason that Derek was having, where the cannon falls down. So the shoulder upgrades help with that.
But it design flaw.
Yeah.
Where the shoulders were, or the shoulders were ball joints. You guys said.
Yeah.
And the shoulders literally snapped on, and the plastic would break.
What?
Yeah.
It was a mess, bro. Let me see if I can zoom in on him real quick. Let's make him bigger. It's kind of hard to tell from there.
I was going to comment that. I mean, help you out, but yeah, upgrade still needs nail polish. Dust just commented on it.
Yeah. There
so
you go.
I've been in MP since 2005. I never got an Apollyon.
2005.
That's correct. I never got an Apollyon.
It's the black ball joint that y'all can. I don't know if y'all can.
Yeah, you can kind of see it right
I see
back
it.
here.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the pressure joint on the.
But mine's never came. Okay. Mine's never came off. And honestly, never even knew about the upgrade kit, and this is it right here.
There it is.
I believe so. Yeah,
that's it.
Never even had to put them on. I was like, hey, works fine with me. And I displayed this. This was the one I displayed before I got my MP36. So and I had Despotron, the Make Toys Megatron as well. So yeah.
Yep.
And I think I sold that. Brink has that one. Brink got that one from me. I was like, I don't want this anymore. So he got it from me at NJCC.
NJCC.
The other accessories, real quick. I know we got to get off the segment, but these were the
we'll need to really get too deep into that just to figure.
I just want to make sure.
NJCC, where people pass around figures between themselves, like certain cults pass around wives.
Yeah, man.
AKA,
wait, are you taking out the mace or the stock?
So, yeah, this is the mace, the key to Vector Sigma.
Yeah.
That was mace. Cool. I think you got to take out the hand, and this is an actual ball and chain versus the chain being plastic on the other ones. This is an actual chain. That was the uniqueness that I liked about this particular Megatron. So yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't especially since he couldn't really hold his arm up to hold that thing up in the air. But I did give them credit for sending out the stock and all that stuff, especially since MP05 did not have that. So that was cool that it did at least come with the stock. So that was cool.
Stamp and trademark that, Dust. Rock swap.
Yeah. Oh no, that's what they call it. That's exactly what they call it. The rock swap. And Matt said that was 2 chains. 2 chains? 2 chains.
2 chains. With a Z. With a Z, Matt. With a Z.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get over to the main course. Rusty, you got your slides ready?
I'm ready. I'm hoping my internet's holding up. Am I doing okay? I feel like I'm lagging or something.
Just a tad bit, but man, we're making do. You'll be okay. Maybe drop your video quality a little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
I don't know how to do that. Do I check my settings?
So just click on yourself.
Definition.
And then, and then make sure it's on
myself.
480. Go to standard.
480, but I'll be all blurry and unhandsome looking.
No, man. I can still see that big old cranium of yours.
Is a big cranium. It's a big cranium.
There we go.
All right, I'll drop it down to 480 and see what that does. Oh my God, what just happened? Hold on. I'm looking weird.
Who's your ISP?
Nobody you've heard of.
Exactly. He's
Rusty.
He's our northern brother, man.
It's Canadian internet.
Whereas internet is
Canadian internet. It's Canadian internet.
All right, guys. So
this doesn't look too distorted. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Yeah. So there's been a lot of talk about the MP world. What is the state of Masterpiece? Is it even considered a scale anymore? Well, I think Takar kind of answered that for themselves, man. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our next topic. Let's talk about where Takar Masterpiece is going and the merger between MP and MPG. So Rusty, go ahead and take this away, man. Start us off.
Yeah, so shout out to Sony first at TM Reviews. Some of these slides I stole from him. So Sony, thank you very much. This I think this translation, I think he did it or maybe he pulled it from somebody else, but I did snag these from TM Reviews. I think he's probably the first one that broke the news to us on his Facebook page. If you're not following Sony on TM Reviews, please go do so now. But this was the slide that he posted on Facebook, which basically is, so I circled the area, this is the product announcement, right? And it's MP60 Jinrai, which is, the Optimus version from the Transformers Super God Masterpiece Force, which was that cartoon that we got once Hasbro stopped doing, right? At the end of season 4, the whole cartoon went back to Japan and they kicked it off with a new series called Transformers Super God Master Force. So that's where this character comes from. But in the product description right here in the area that is circled in red, it translates out to the Masterpiece series will end with this work, with the release of the 100th model. And from now on, the top Transformers brand will be unified to the next generation top brand of Transformers MPG. So for those of us that know, right, there's been some, the train bots were under the MPG label. So it sounds like this is going to be the last Masterpiece figure that we're going to get, and they're going to shift to MPG, and starting off with MPG 9, which we'll get into. So there's MPG 9 right there. So they're releasing MP60 and MPG 9 together or around the same time. The first one is just the Optimus figure or the Optimus character, and then the second one is his super mode where he combines with his trailer and the Power Master figure, which is the engine in his chest. But it sounds like this is it. MP60 is going to be the last official Masterpiece figure that we're going to get. They're going to shift to MPG, and they're probably going to start releasing characters from Transformers, Super God Master Force and other series that came after that. So I think it's a sad day for all of us here. That's where the G1 characters that we've expected to get from the Masterpiece line are going to be no more.
So
yes, sir. Go ahead, Scott. Get it out, buddy. You can do this. All right. Let's not get a copyright strike.
No, yeah.
A moment of silence for the Masterpiece line, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. No, I lost interest in Takara MP a while ago. I haven't been buying Takara MP for a while because there was just too much risk at a high price for quality issues. Hound, I was the first MP transformer I ever broke in first transformation. And it was because that plastic was so dang thin in order for them to accomplish what they were trying to accomplish. Prime, I had to handle with kid gloves, and the Starscream, I literally gifted Bobby Skullface a MP Starscream, and the thing wouldn't stand up for him for his review. And so I've been out from Takara for a long time. So I think, this has a possibility of going a few ways. It can go, Takara goes its own way with its scale, and third-party MP continues on with the scale it's at, in which case maybe they're more free to do what they want to do now with less, fear of Takara coming in and kind of bringing the hammer, which is a good thing for us. It could be a non-issue because it won't change anything that's happening, I think this is kind of the least likely, but also the most disruptive is if the third parties decide to go and follow suit.
Masterpiece has been prolific. The Masterpiece Tommy Takara line or Takara Tomy line has been prolific since its inception, right? So we had MP01, fantastic figure, is what got me back into Transformers as far as a collector. It was the first time I seen something that was super reminiscent of the toy, the tune, and it was heavy like the toy, but it was G1 like the tune. It was G1 in all its designs. It was a perfect figure, man. The only thing was missing was the trailer, right? But I got Optimus Prime. And then you move on to a couple of other items. You have a Megatron that comes out the scale with it, and then they dropped the scale. Starscream was always supposed to be shorter than Megatron, apparently, so they came out with a shorter jet. But even the jet was cool, right? I seen the overseas version and was like, it's not my Starscream, but they came out with the Walmart exclusive, and it was perfect, right? It was the white, had the wash and stuff on it, still prolific. And then they reset the scale after doing a couple repaints of those jets, and we get into MP10, and then Sideswipe, and at good price points too, right? MP10 may have come out at a higher price point, but I remember Sideswipe being like $45 to $50. It was dumb cheap. But even that, it was like, man, this is reminiscent of the tune. I still understand that it's a real world car. It's fun to transform. It's perfect. It's painted to the nines. Like this is crazy. This is great, right? And then they prop that line up, giving you stuff to fit it, and then here comes third party. So without Takara, there would be no third party scale to even go off of. So even in that, they're prolific. And the reason why we even have third party is they wanted to fill holes that they didn't think Takara would come out with. Fast forward to recent years, the quality hasn't been the same, but the paint has still been there. The sculpt has still been there because they went tune, and that for me is not a bad thing. I love the tune. I go to sleep on the tune at night still, 2 to 3 times a week, man. But that was my childhood. That was for me at a time where life was easier. I couldn't afford them as a kid, so I definitely got them as I got older, which I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. But that was the thing. So that never bothered me. But it's like Scott said, somewhere over the past 5-6 years, like the breakages and stuff and quality for plastic that they use just started to go off the rails. Starting even with Hound. Prime had knee issues. Some people's, not everybody's. The RC, the design on the chest was a little wonky. So there was some things, but it still was fun in a lot of different ways. Sunstreaker, prolific figure, one of the best masterpiece transformers out, including third party. And I would say the same even with that Starscream. I know Bobby's didn't stand, but I got 3 of that mode because I went in on the whole set and I love them. Mine stood up just fine. But I know it's results may vary for other people, but it was still fun. So to see it go is a little sad because I remember thinking if they can just get the license to Jazz, that probably will be one of the better looking figures out. It's only so much that you can do with Jazz, and that's a big missing piece. Volkswagen owns Jazz. Shout out to Volkswagen. They own Porsche rather. So we knew that it was a possibility since we got a Bumblebee, right? So we got that. The Volkswagen license came. The Lamborghini license came. Come on, Porsche, you got to be next. So they were figuring it out, man, and it just did not pan out that way. So to see them end on this figure, which don't get me wrong, I liked this figure as a kid. It was the only Prime that I actually got to play with longer term. Never owned it. But it was cool to see it merge with the trailer and actually the trailer be more useful than just a battle station. So it was cool. But for them to end on this is disappointing and very disheartening, man. And to say that you're now merging with the MPG line, which, excuse my language, that we all know is bullshit. It's a piece of shit line anyway. Like you give me these little bitty trains and you give me these figures that can't even tab together and combine right. Like get that out of here. No one wants that. Yeah. So now it's like, well, I guess Takar really isn't getting any more of my money, and I have to supplement with mostly Masterpiece. But I enjoyed the Toon stuff that they came out with. So this is just, it's a sad piece, man. Sad day for Transformer fans, man. Derek, you got something?
I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, well, as most of y'all know, I'm a huge fan of the Power Master Optimus. Anything related to Power Master Optimus Prime. The redirection of where this line is going is a bit disappointing. I'm actually interested to see where this is actually going to go, because it seems like this line is going to concentrate on just off related figures or large figures. Yeah, so I'm interested to see where it's going to go. I actually went in on this one. I'm actually going to get this, and see, I'm getting the MP60 one, the all combined, because it made 0 sense for me to get the MP09. I'm like, who just wants this version of Prime? It makes no sense to have just this version of Prime without everything else to him. God Bomber is going to come out right after this. So, well, I don't know if it's going to come right out or if we're going to wait 2-3 years before that God Bomber comes out. But, I'm very confused as to why they did that Prime by itself. Only to want the trailer and everything later for that person. You can't buy the trailer separately on its own.
So when you said bigger robots, you mean like they're concentrating on bigger robots that are downscaled?
In theory,
yeah. I mean, So let's go down the list. You got this Prime. You got this Prime that combines into the Power Master Optimus Prime. More than and if they really take advantage of it, they'll do the different color variations for your Nemesis.
It's coming.
Shattered Glass. They'll let's see if they take advantage of doing that. There's also the other large bots, which consist of Overlord. There's There's Overlord. There
You got the Seacons, which are a part of that. You got
the Seacons. You got your combiners. You're gonna have your Seacons, Terracons, the Technobots. Are they gonna start doing those? And what are what's the scale going to be to those? Actually, that's my bigger question, because everybody knows that a great attraction are these combiners.
So think
Everybody
about
loves
that.
displaying those.
Think about that.
Ooh.
They come out with Technobots, Computron, Abominus. Suddenly now we're in a pickle because other third-party people have not come out with those at the masterpiece level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we sort of tempted to change over scale to
Change
this
back?
Yeah,
to change back.
I mean, I would tell you some people might be, but it's a big hell no for me. Like, I'm not going backwards in scale. Like, it won't fit with none of my collection, man. They have lost their rabbit minds.
But that's the thing. Just think about it for a second. There's a lot of collectors now that are going from masterpiece to legend because of and it's for a couple of reasons. One is for space. Two is for cost. Because everybody knows that after 2020, things just skyrocketed up. For the masterpiece line, especially, and actually it skyrocketed up for the Legends line. Think about it. The Legends figures are costing now what masterpiece figures cost back, way back when.
In the day. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, that shift in price, they're going back to that because of the affordability. And they're changing the way they display their stuff as a result of that too. You got like for me, masterpieces are expensive. The displays for them are expensive as well. So if you're going back to a legend scale, then you're getting back to your more affordable way of it looking for you in your pocket. You know what I mean? And still having it look good. Some people got to work on the displays, but some people actually do a great job with the displays as a result of going backwards. You know what I mean?
But Derek, if we're being fair, the combiners from the MP line fit very well with the legend scale. If you like a bigger bot, Devastator from Toy World works. The Raiden from Moon Studios works. Like you can get, that stuff fits. Now, granted, when you take them apart, it's a wrap. But the Superion works. Like I get it. Like it's there was some flexibility there. Like look at what Ricky did. He kept his combiners, and now they go with his legends. So it can work. You're not gonna have that flexibility anymore. Like these things are a lot smaller. They don't even hold up. Now, here's the thing. One thing I know about Takara is that they really do know how to make a toy. So they will figure it out. If anybody's going to figure it out, they will have to figure this out or this line fails before it gets off the ground.
Sure.
So let's not sleep on that. But I don't know, man. Like this is weird, man. This is weird. So you got a couple more slides on that. Let's open this up a little bit and see let's see what this all comes with.
Yep. Well, before the slide, like I'm just going to throw a few more things out, and I think Derek touched on this on the Realm Hatton project too, right? Is that the real disappointing part about this as well? And Eric, Derek just talked about it. I mean, I have no skin in the game on this anymore, right? I dropped out of MP scale stuff a year ago, and I'll be honest, like you're right, price was the primary factor on this. There's some frustration stuff with fans' toys and whatever, but primarily it was price. And I will tell you that surprisingly, you would be surprised at what a difference it makes in Canada versus the US with currency exchange and our taxes versus the US.
Import tax.
It literally cannot justify, and import tax too, shipping, right? Literally cannot justify the cost of an MP figure in Canada versus the US. Just that alone, right? I watch you guys, go out and buy the MP figures, the third-party figures. By the way, good hook, Derek, on that sale from Show Z when you picked up Hitch for $100. Well done, sir. But that type of stuff just seriously impacts my personal ability to be, and that's why I shifted back to Legends. And like you said, the displays that I was buying, the display cases I was buying from IKEA were much larger than the Billy bookcases that I have, behind me now, because I needed that space. I needed more of them even, and they had to be deeper than just a Billy bookcase to be able to display all the stuff that I wanted to display.
Okay.
So, but all that aside, again, I don't have any skin in the game in this. I could care less, except that I do feel bad for everybody who is still in the MP game, who was expecting, like you said, Eric, that we got the Volkswagen license, we got our Bumblebee finally. How much longer is it going to be for Jazz? Right? Is Jazz right around the corner? Where's our Gears? Where's our Cliff Jumper? Where's our, like, they had so many more characters that they still haven't done, right? That now they've ruined that for those people that didn't collect third party. This is terrible. Like, this is just stab you in the back, don't care, bottom line, whatever you want to call it.
So Rusty,
it's unfair, unfortunately.
So you said about 10% more? Is what you're saying? About 10% more? Because I'll tell you what, buddy, I'll pay that 10% more if you guys can pay for my healthcare like you got to do in Canada.
Right.
That's why our taxes are so high, buddy. Honestly, our taxes are so high because of things like healthcare and everything else, right? So, we sit up. We can get into a long debate about this, I'm sure, right? We sit up here and go, we have free healthcare. It's not free. You're paying for it.
That's true.
Anyway,
it's just universal.
It sucks.
Yeah,
exactly. It sucks that they have done this, that they have changed the scale again, because I remember and same thing as you, Eric, when I bought MP01, that was it, right? Like when I saw MP01 was coming out, I was already collecting the Transformers alternators line, and then MP01 came out, and I went, nope, I'm done with alternators because this is
it.
This is.
But even those
it was like my alternators for a while, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah. And then we got to MP04, and they went, well, we're going to change the scale on you. And I looked at my MP01 and went, I spent a lot of money on this, So anyway, all you MP collectors out there that are hardcore Takara Tomy fans, again, moment of silence, pour one out, call it. It sucks. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at. So I grabbed some. I grabbed all the slides off the Takara Tomy website of the product announcement. I actually did the translations as well, so you guys can read it on the screen as we're going through it, right? But this is what they've announced here, right? So MP60 Jinrai, just Optimus Prime, right? The core figure, and the MPG09 Super Jinrai, which has the trailer, right? The main Optimus figure and the Power Master. So they're talking about the 40th anniversary,
which is a big deal this year.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And there's lots of stuff happening, like we talked about, right? There's that they're going to take the first 4 episodes, put it into the theater. They're releasing Transformers 1, the first animated movie we've had in almost 4 decades.
Long time.
So they're calling it a crossover project from MPG is now available, right? So obviously, this figure and that figure are related and whatever. And then they just start showing off, right? They start off with MP60. And they just had a description here of, they remind everybody that, hey, this is the character from the Super God Master Force that aired in '88. Again, the announcement, right, of where the Masterpiece series will end and be combined with MPG, showing us a shot from the cartoon here of what Optimus looked like in the cartoon. So, you know what? Like, the figure looks good to me, like we already talked about. I think I'm not going to buy it, right? That's not my Optimus Prime, but I mean, it looks like Masterpiece quality. Again, to Scott's point, does the plastic hold up? Are the joints going to hold up, et cetera, and we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, for some fans, the crotch thrust is the only thing that they need.
Well, that's a weird shot, right? Why did they do that, right? But anyway, I assume it doesn't.
It's a Japanese thing. They do the same thing with their import action figures too. They love that thrush that makes him look more heroic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is all the MP60 stuff. So he's going to come with two laser rifles. The posability on it looks absolutely,
it looks
MP level, right? Stuff, right? Like it looks crazy, right? And they talk about that here in the, they talk about 21 years of doing stuff, right? And all the posability. They show off the Power Master figure right here, right? So this is going to be plugs right into the. Yeah, no, it does look good, right?
Yeah.
Interestingly, they talk something about when it's attached to the cab, the lock will come off and it will be completely transformed into robot mode. So I don't know what they mean by lock, right? So
it's just like the old gimmick. So when it was in truck, when you transform it into truck mode, it locks that waist area with the cab, and the only way to transform it back out is to pop that engine in, and it releases the lock, so you can release the legs to start the transformation. It's just this what they're saying is this is going to have the same gimmick as the original toy did. So
which the original toy,
which it doesn't look like the robot mode really sacrifices for the gimmick, which is bonus.
That's good.
Because, that was the biggest issue that I had with Armada, is that they sacrificed the quality of the toy for the gimmick.
Yeah,
I will say this. So I think I'm in, only because again, this was like. So this is the first one I got to spend more time with. My cousin had an Optimus Prime original, but he lost all the stuff, and I barely would go over there. But the neighbor kid down the street had it, and this does look very articulated. So I want it. I wish the legs weren't silver, but I understand that's from the tune.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go in on it, man. But I just, it's hard for me to support them knowing that this is the merger, man. Like it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it hit every aspect for me, but my confusion for this is why do two separate ones? And even when they were describing the single one, they were saying it's going to come with limited pieces. Your MPG09 is going to come with, I'm sorry, the MP60 is going to come with everything. I want everything out the back.
It's the other way around. There's a slide at the end, Derek. It's the other way around. MPG09 comes with everything. MP60 is just the figure. So MP60 is just.
Okay. So I'm getting the see, and that's the other thing.
Yep.
You're mixing. Okay, you're getting confused in regards to these model numbers. I'm just like, what are you doing?
MPG09, even
and then 09. Where's the last 8?
Yeah. Well, the last 8 was the last 8.
Right?
Was it was the trains?
At least 6 of them were.
Yeah, 6. So where's the other
7? Is considered the actual train by Raiden himself.
Okay, so 8.
Because you can, so that's 8 is somewhere in the loop, somewhere in the void. Hasn't dropped yet.
You know what? I'm canceling my. Never mind. I don't want this.
The numbers convention doesn't.
This is absolutely crazy. This is crazy. I'm out. You're not going to do this to me because I'm a completionist. So I want, when I start a line, I want the entire. Well,
no, but see, that's the problem, Derek. Like, you can't complete this line because it's going to be all over the freaking place. Like they're touting that it's going to merge now MP, so Beast Wars will eventually be a part of this line. If they come out with a Jazz, it'll be a part of this line. What are you completing? A smorgasbord of bullshit? Like this is not going to work.
Right. And again, no. And if they do come out with Jazz and the other G1 characters, it's not going to be an MP scale because they've changed the scale.
Exactly.
Unless who knows? Like
so Brink says that a repaint of one of the trains is 8.
Wait.
A repaint?
I don't know if he's.
And they released a repaint of one of the trains. That's it. Stop it.
Somebody look
stop it.
You know what, Derek? Derek, you know what? And Dust just said it. Just switch to Legends, buddy. You'll be happier. Trust me. Anyway, this is
Dust, you may be on to something, Dust. I'm sorry.
So this is the super combined mode.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hang on this. I'm sure you guys have read this already while it was sitting on the screen, right? So they're just showing off same thing, right? Is that so? I don't know why they're only showing 2 rifles here, because this thing comes with a ton of accessories, which we'll get to.
But these are the 2 though that are for this boat with this mode. So that's why they're showing you the 2. He still comes with a double blaster, but for this mode. Yeah. So he's gonna come with a total of 4, but I'm sure we'll get to it.
So there's the comparisons there that they showed on their website, right? So there's MP60 on the left, MPG09 on the right. So as you can see, MP60 is just the cab, 2 rifles, blast effects, and the Power Master. But the MPG09 comes with the trailer, the extra double blasters that go on his shoulders in super mode, some additional blast effects look like lightning bolts, different head sculpts. Looks like 2 versions of the Power Master, which I don't understand. And alternate hands. So, and obviously a difference in price. Interestingly, I noted, and I didn't translate it, but if you look right down here, 2024 12, I'm assuming that means December. So it's probably coming out around Christmas time, just in time for all you kids out there. So,
so to elaborate a little bit, on the mini, there's a repaint. It is one. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me explode you real quick, buddy. Let me make you the solo guy. That's it.
Yeah.
You could train.
Kudos to
trained by MPG08, trained by Yamabuki.
So Brink is officially the biggest nerd of us all.
Yeah. So just to elaborate really quick, hold on 1 second. The reason why it comes with the smaller one is because at some points Jinrai, which is the little Power Master, he drives Prime.
Yeah. That's going to sit inside the cab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I mean,
I think that's cool.
For a lot of us, the little guy drives.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
So, and just so everyone's aware, because I did the math for everybody. So MP60 will be approximately $150 US, which is a lot cheaper than MP44, and MPG09 will be about $300, almost double the price.
Now, here's another thing too. This version is 2 inches shorter. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 2 inches shorter than the MP44 as well.
Correct.
So as he's supposed to be. He was always smaller.
Yeah. So
this is crazy.
But it goes back to my point.
Sorry,
MPG09. Why would I get MP60 when I can get everything with MPG09?
So for some people, they may not want that trailer because it does look wonky, and they never need to combine it. It could be a space thing, but they want a Prime, a representation of that Prime, and then there you go.
And we've talked about that a million times, right? How many more Prime trailers do I need? Right? Some people just want Prime, no trailer, take some space, sitting in the box, whatever. Hashtag unnecessaries, boys and girls. But some people just want the cab, right? So,
I mean, how many Primes do we got at this point? Let's think about that one. It's literally there's shout out to my good friend Sanjay, who is the Prime who is the Prime specialist, as I would call him, because he's literally got I think he's got every version of Prime, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, and Brink does too.
Every version I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and including some variants and some repaints.
Yes, every Prime deserves a trailer. Prime should not roll alone. Prime always has a trailer.
Exactly.
I think he does.
Yeah,
every Prime deserves a trailer.
I agree.
Yes,
I agree. It's a lot, but I don't. If you still Prime without a trailer, that's an incomplete Prime to me. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat squad that does have every version of Prime, whoever you may be.
Yeah,
there you go. All right, we got more on this one. Is that it?
That's it. That is the last slide I have, boys and girls. I have nothing else to share with you.
All right, so let's do some more deep diving on this. First of all, let's go around the yard real quick. Let me get that out the way. Boom. All right, let's go around the yard. So who's in?
Out.
Who's in?
But I've been out for over a year on Masterpiece, so
that's fair.
Ta-da.
Scott got that look. Scott got that look. He's in for one.
Nope.
He's
I'm
in
out.
for one. All right, you're out.
Yep.
Derek, you still in?
I'm already in. You know, me and Takar are going to have this love-hate relationship for a little bit until I see what else are they coming with. But this Prime, because it's Power Master Optimus Prime, I gotta have it. You know, so it's like everybody that does a Power Master Optimus Prime, with the exception of Make Toys, because I was not feeling that one at all. But it actually looked really good. And I'm not. No, and here's the other one I'm not going into. KFC. Hell no. I'm not. No. Hell no. I'm not going KFC. But that's what I'm saying. The Make Toys ones actually look pretty good, and I missed out on those. But you know, if I get lucky and can come across one at some point, then I'll definitely go ahead and pick up one so I can play around with it. But the Fans Hobby ones, I got every last one of them. And
it's an impressive
big boys.
Yeah, it's an impressive picture.
Yeah, but and as far as the aesthetic and everything that looks on, as far as the MPG 09, it really looks put together well. You know, out of all of them, that one looks really put together well. So they really I think they hit the mark on those. But yeah, we're gonna see where this goes.
So I do think your diehard Takara fans are going to go in on this, right? Like for some people, Takara can do no wrong. There's some people where it's just like, I never bought Masterpiece third party. That wasn't my thing because it wasn't Takara. They thought it was for whatever reason, it just wasn't for them. So they're going to go in on this. I am laughing at you all the way to the bank because you will have an incomplete collection. But I can say this, man. I'm very tempted to get this. I may get this only because that's the only Prime I don't have in my collection. Of note is a Power Master Optimus Prime, and it is a big part of our childhood. Even though the TV show never came out over here when we were kids, you definitely seen this toy was marketed to us all day because it was a Prime. So as goofy and as wonky as this is, I think I'm gonna get it. The big disappointment for me outside of them merging the two lines is the fact that it doesn't come with the God armor. I think that's weird.
Yeah. I mean,
but that'll be MPG 10.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. MPG 10.
That's probably it. And I'll get that one along with it, you know.
Again, I'm not getting this thing. I'm not getting this thing, but again, as you guys said, it looks good. Like when I first saw the but kudos to anybody else that does. It does look like they both do. They look like really good, solid figures. Again, like we talked about. Hopefully, we don't see any of those plastic quality issues like we've seen, with some of the figures in lately with the Masterpiece line. But I mean, I could totally see why people would go after this thing. And with you, Derek, like, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of that series. Again, it didn't come to North America, but I downloaded it, later in life and watched it. And again, it just speaks to, your past, the nostalgia, your childhood. Again, like as soon as I saw that figure, I went, I remember that. Right. And you start playing back the episodes in your head. I'm not getting it. Kudos to anybody that does. Not for me.
Yeah.
When I get it, I'm going to bring it on this show and I'm going to transform it. I think the other change that it looks like that they're doing is more simplistic transformation because
Heck, did you see those trains?
No. I'm not, man. Screw them trains. I'm not talking about that. I can care less about them trains. I'm talking about with this particular Prime because the way it looks, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a more simpler transformation than.
Well, yeah, the original toy was. The original toy was very super simple, right? Like they just added articulation. It's basically the missing link on steroids.
There are those abused spouses that just keep coming back for more and thinking that it's going to be better.
Listen, that's how you are with X-Trans bots.
Right. I learned my lesson with them a long time ago. Yeah,
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in
really
that same club with you, buddy. I'm in the same club with you.
Actually, you know what? We didn't touch on is we didn't really touch on why we think this happened, right? And I think a lot of speculation's been around. Maybe Takar is just done, right? Somebody in the chat actually said third party wins, but maybe Takar is just looking at it from a business perspective of let's just not fight with these guys anymore because they are doing it better, admittedly, and let them have the MP scale, and we'll just shift. Right. And then they can go and focus on a slightly different scale, start over, release whatever figures that they want that the third party companies are going to release anyway. Right. And by the way, I'm looking directly at you fans toys that every time that somebody releases something, you jump on that train like a fat kid on a Smartie. But anyway, maybe that's it. You know?
Not a
maybe that's it
Smartie.
from a business perspective. Maybe they just decided, screw it.
I'll show you how that formula works.
If you look
X-Trans bots comes out with something. They display it. They put it online. Fans Choice says, hold my beer.
I know. Super annoying.
Every time.
Scott, what were you trying to say there?
I mean, if you look at what has been the Takara releases for Masterpiece over the last 4 years, right? You've got 2021, which had 5 releases in it. 3 of which were just repaints or 2 of which were repaints because you got Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp all included in that. And then you got Skids and Reboost.
That's right, because they had two different versions of Skids, didn't they?
Right. Yeah. So you effectively got 2 releases that year from a new mold standpoint.
Yeah.
2022, Night Shadow. Right. I don't have my reading glasses on. So Senate Crosscut and Trailbreaker. Right?
Yep.
2023, Dark Amber, Leo Prime, Skyfire, and Dia Burnout. 3. And of course, one of those was new, Skyfire. The other 2 were repaints. And then 2024, Hoist, repaint. Optimus MP44S, repaint. Rigorous, repaint. Rhinox is the new guy. And Jinrai is and this is obviously looking forward, right? You got Rhinox and Jinrai coming up.
Well, wait, Scott. The one correction: Hoist wasn't a repaint.
Hoist is a repaint, well, not a repaint, but a retool of what's his name?
Just very like slightly, and I only say that because we reviewed it on the show. It really is different from the waist down, the trunk, like the cab is about the only thing. Well, the hood is about the only thing that's the same. The back end of that thing's completely different. The waist down, it has no waist. Like the one that I bought from you, the Trailbreaker, it's an entirely different figure. Like it's crazy strange.
But if you compare that release schedule over the last 4 years to even honestly COVID, but you have to understand that 2022 was largely baked by the time COVID got here.
For sure.
But you get 7 to 8 bots per year, and only 4 to 5 of those are new.
Yeah.
So I think there's something there. In the sense of, did they see a slowdown after 2021? Because that was kind of the last year. Actually, 2021 was still just basically 2 primary molds, right? So after 2020, did they see a slowdown after 2020 that they reacted to and realized that, we're just not getting the business that we once did? Because the reality is if the dollars were streaming, they'd be making.
Yeah, and it didn't help that they lost the Pokemon license, and that kind of all started Takara's woes. So then they had to partner almost exclusively with Hasbro. So now there's no longer a Takara version and a Hasbro version. It's all one, and all you do is just slap a shipper over it in Hasbro and then in the US. So the partnership, they put their resources together because there was something going on, but I think that helped them for a while. I think it's just them trying to cater to the Japanese market. I think that's where they're going, and that's just their goal is to cater more to the Japanese market.
So that's yeah. And that's exactly what I was going to comment, right? So, Scott, if you take that into account, what you're saying is that they're seeing a slowdown. It doesn't make sense to me for them to shift to a cartoon that never made it to North America, characters out of a cartoon that never made it to North America, right? So they're obviously not targeting North American fans. I think he's right. I think they're targeting their Japanese fans now, right?
All the money.
Because
they're going to sprinkle in
G1,
some Americans.
Well, right, and exactly, yeah, right. So they're walking away from the North American fans essentially to get that money from, because as we all know, right? I mean, the Japanese love their robots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's cater to those guys. Yeah, again, it's unfortunate because again, like as you just said, they're obviously not targeting the North America, because out of 4 of us, 3 of us have said nope.
But is
one
it,
of us
is it
like,
because of the figure, or is it
So-
because of the size and kind of the direction that they're going?
Well, again, I think this character was always undersized. I mean, he had a little different of an articulation. I think let's take this figure out of it. That's a one-off. I think what they release on the next 3 releases will determine where they're catering the
direction they're going.
Like if this were regular MP scale, it's still Ginrai, right? But if it were regular MP scale and it were the quality of FT at the price of Fans Toys, would I be in?
But it is still like, so Ginrai, just the centerpiece is still MP scale. Don't get it twisted. It still is MP scale. So even though it is a little shorter than MP44, it's supposed to be, because it always has been. So don't get it twisted. That figure is MP scale. Where they're jumping the shark is giving you this separate figure that comes with now a unified MP figure to try to merge this brand, and then from there on, you're going to see sprinkled in pieces, I think, from the North American market into a more Japanese focused brand where they don't need to pay for licenses, because they're losing a ton of money there on that stuff if they can't get it to sale. But I think that's where they'll make up the bulk of their money, and then they'll boom give you something that's a licensed figure, and that'll be where they sprinkle stuff in, because they've been beat to the market on a lot of this stuff because they just slow rolled it. They just slow rolled a lot of stuff. I mean, they just came out with a Jetfire. How many Jetfires did we have before they put it out?
Yeah,
well, people bought it because it was Takar, but still, like the Hoist and the Trailbreaker situation, they had to get that license done with Toyota, which I would imagine would be a little easier since they're a Japanese company, but they haven't given us some of this other stuff, man, because I think it's a licenses. It might be a little harder to do these licenses
because they want to be original and authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Brink makes a good point.
So yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. No, I agreed. I think they blew it. They were too slow. Third party beat them to the punch a lot of times. We've talked about that too on the show too, right? That people's collection, like how much are we going to chase down replacement figures, right?
Yeah, that too.
When does it get to the point of you're happy with your collection, right? Or are you going to constantly upgrade and all that stuff? So yeah, Ricky, I'm here, you're not. Suck it. So by the way, I'm curious. So you guys keep saying that Ginrai was shorter than Optimus, but is it not the same person?
No, it isn't the same person.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's not. It's not, because Optimus Prime was in our continuity in the US. He was not driven by a driver. Like, he wasn't controlled by a human. In the Japanese continuity, he's controlled by that human. He's not a separate. He's not a sentient being. He's a drone, basically. He's controlled by Ginrai.
Okay.
He's controlled by the little driver. Optimus Prime in America was never been a headmaster. He was never controlled by that in the cartoon. Correct?
Yeah, no.
The headmasters weren't like that either, right? The headmasters were
the headmasters were later down the road, right? That's where the humans came on,
but the headmasters didn't control. The headmasters didn't control
They didn't.
I guess
control
what
the
I'm
body.
It was
what
a symbiosis.
well, I guess what I'm saying is Optimus Prime in the original OG was never controlled by a driver, correct?
No, it was
Humans never drove them.
Yeah.
They controlled themselves. And the
right.
God Super Force Genrai he controlled Optimus Prime.
But
He
is it
did?
still
He
Optimus
drove-
Prime? I think is what I'm asking. Like you're saying that that version
I
of
gotta
Optimus
go
was
back and
shorter
watch
than
it
the
again.
original version.
Yeah,
Is that it?
he's not called Optimus Prime at all.
Yeah, because
Really?
I'm thinking about it on a just like me and Brink are on the same wavelength. We're thinking about it on the comic perspective because the comic
Oh yeah,
on the
well, in the
comic
comic that's different. Yeah.
because in the book
Yeah.
in the comic and the American television series they were Nebulans.
Correct.
Nebulans were
Right. Yeah,
inserted
yeah.
into that whole line, and then they were
Right.
also human, but they were partnered together. Now
Right.
the Nebulans, they needed when they merged with the Nebulans, like they had them as their heads. Now the Nebulans, they couldn't be in robot form without the Nebulans being present to be their heads, or in this case the Power Master Optimus and any other Power Master Transformer couldn't access their abilities without that engine inserted into them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that whole thing works. Because notice the engine they could be the engine in both their vehicle and robot mode, but they can be without them as the Power Master robots can be without them as well. They just can't access their full ability, their full powers without those engines.
Right, like the Target Masters. But the comic and the cartoon continuity are two different things.
Right. Totally as far as the Japanese
line,
yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the cartoon again because I don't remember that. I remember the Power Master Optimus just being Optimus with this Power Master upgrade, right? Which was a person, Nebulan, human, whatever it was. But I'll go back and watch it again.
So
the chat has
boys and girls,
this
is why you never watch boys and girls, this is why you never watch an English dub of a Japanese cartoon.
Dormammu hit the nail on the head when it was just the Transformers, like the continuation of Transformers from the America to there. It was Optimus Prime. He was Convoy, but that's the same one. But when it was Genrai for the Super God Megaforce or whatever you call that silly show, he was definitely somebody who was driven by the Power Master or yada yada yada. But
okay.
I think that is a good point to go ahead and good point in the show to go ahead and wrap it up and get ready to get up out of here, man. It was a good show, I think. Good one for our first one.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get ready to go around StreamYards, get some shout outs, some where you at, and we'll go ahead and get up out of here. Rusty, let's start with you.
I am the Rusty Mechanic. You can find me out there as the Rusty Mechanic. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on Twitter. I am on Reddit. I am also on Twitch now, where I play my new favorite game, Marvel Snap, and I do some streaming of that as I play around with that. So you can catch me there as well. And as I always say, I think that's about as much whoring around on the internet as I can handle right
now. For sure. Derek, what about you, good sir?
All right. You can find me, your boy Derek Bigsby, your Book of Faces. You can find me on Instagram as Derek What B. You can also find me here every other Tuesday for Do You Even Transform, Bro? So proud to say that now. It's no longer a pop-up show. Yes. Every other Tuesday, folks. And you know where else you can catch me? Every other Friday. Not this Friday, but the following Friday on the Realm Hatton Project. If you haven't watched last week's show, definitely check that out. Like I said earlier in the show, we was
plugging. Yes, sir. And our newest regular, Scotty M. Where can they find you, buddy?
Yes, Scott Marble on Facebook and XBane Reese X on Instagram. That's about all of the social media I can handle. But you'll also find me in the chat squad on any Realm show that includes the Realm Hatton Project, ETR on Monday nights, as well as an occasional guest, and definitely in the chat squad on Shelf Gravy. And what's the transforming right out the box? No,
right.
That's it.
That's it, man. Well, actually, speaking of shows, let's go ahead and take a look at our show lineup. really quickly, I'll go ahead and just put this.
Yo, I still love that one. I love it. Got to get it updated, but yo, it's still hot.
It's fire. It's hot fire. I spit hot fire. I spit hot fire. Dylan. All right, so Derek has something final he wants to say, but before he does, guys, my name is Eric B, and you can find me on Facebook as Eric Burgess. You can find me on Instagram, Mr. EDub82. You can find me here every other Tuesday with these fine gentlemen, every other Wednesday on Figure Banging, as well as around just around, man. You'll see me around. I'm always around. You can find my wife, my board, and myself putting in work for Kennedy's Village, where we are doing our best to bridge the gap between sickle cell research and care. And yeah, guys, tune in. This coming Wednesday is a Shelf Gravy week, and then this Friday may be a hangout. We'll see how things go. But that's it for me, Derek. I got my hand on the button, by the way. So let's go ahead and get your quote.
I'm not ready.
So as usual, this is a tradition with Do You Even Transform? A little quote I like to leave y'all with before we end the show. The secret to staying young is to live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. I am not 70 years old, right?
Say it with me now. Really?